My best friend's husband pulled me aside, looking nervous, and whispered, "I need to be honest. Your wife and I have been together for years." My hands trembled, but I forced a smile and said, "Appreciate the honesty." That evening, they opened their doors to lawsuits that would destroy everything they had left. I'm 44. My name's Eric. I've been married for 16 years. At least, I thought I was married. Turns out, I was playing house in someone else's fantasy. I live just outside Asheville, North Carolina. It's peaceful, green, surrounded by mountains. Perfect place to raise kids, drink coffee on the porch, and think life's good. It all started to fall apart on a Saturday. The day before, my wife, Megan, had hosted a dinner party. Nothing fancy. Just grilled salmon, a few friends, lots of wine. Our closest friends came, including Olivia and her husband Matt. Olivia and Megan were inseparable for years. So were Matt and I. I used to think that was rare. Two couples who could be so close. I thought we were lucky. That Saturday, Megan was out shopping. Said she needed new throw pillows for the living room. I was in the backyard putting new soil in the garden beds when Matt showed up. I thought maybe he was dropping off the wine glass he accidentally took home the night before or wanted help with his fence again. But when he walked up to me, he looked like he'd seen a ghost. "Hey, man," he said. His voice was weird, tight, like he was forcing calm. "Can we talk?" "Sure," I said, wiping dirt off my hands. He didn't sit. Just stood there. Shifting. Then he said it. Quietly. "I need to be honest, your wife and I have been together for years." I stared at him. I thought I misheard. Or maybe he meant something else. I laughed a little, trying to play it off. "What?" "I mean it," he said. "I'm not messing with you. I've been sleeping with Megan since 2019. I just froze. My brain didn't process it all at once. It came in layers. Confusion, then a hot wave of something heavy in my chest. My hands started shaking. I could barely feel the ground. I didn't punch him. I didn't scream. I just stood there and said, "Appreciate the honesty." That's all I could get out without losing it. He started talking. He told me he couldn't live with the guilt. Said he loved her at some point. Said she needed someone who understood her. He told me it wasn't supposed to go on this long. I couldn't even look at him. I turned around and went inside. He left. I sat at the kitchen table staring at the same spot on the wall until Megan came home a couple hours later, acting normal, smiling. She asked if I could help her bring in the bags. I followed her to the car in silence. When we got back inside, I sat her down. "You want to tell me something?" I asked. She looked confused, then nervous. "Matt came by." She paled. "He told me everything." She didn't even try to deny it. Just started crying. Said she was sorry. Said it started after her dad died, when she felt lost and I was too busy with work. Said it was complicated. I asked how many times. She couldn't answer. Just cried harder. I asked if she loved him. She said, "I don't know." I asked if she loved me. She said, "I think so." That was when I realized the woman I thought I knew wasn't real. Or maybe I wasn't real to her. Not in the way I hoped. I didn't scream. I didn't throw things. I just nodded and walked out. I drove to my brother's place and stayed the night. But here's where things get even messier. The next morning, I got a call from Olivia, Matt's wife. She was hysterical. "You know, don't you?" she asked. "Matt told me you know. He told me everything." I confirmed it. She asked if I wanted to come over. I did. We sat in her living room drinking strong black coffee. Her eyes were red, her hands shaking just like mine had the day before. "I'm filing," she said. "He can have the house if he wants. I just want out." Then she said something that chilled me. "They weren't careful, Eric. They thought they were, but they weren't. I have emails. I have texts. I have proof. For years. She showed me. Screenshots. Hundreds of them. They used a separate email account to talk. Shared passwords. Even fake contact names in their phones. Some messages were explicit. Some were like love letters. Others were about me. Jokes. Ridicule. I felt something inside me die reading those. That's when I decided this wouldn't just end in heartbreak. It would end in fire. Olivia and I talked about what we could do legally. I contacted a lawyer that afternoon. She already had one. Turns out, Megan and Matt weren't just cheating, they were financially entangled too. Opened a joint account last year. Bought furniture together. He'd been helping pay for Megan's business expenses. Except she never told me those came from him. We found out they'd also been planning to start something. Once the timing was right. They even looked at apartments in Charlotte. They had an entire plan. One they shelved whenever things felt risky. But now, they had risked it all, and we were holding all the cards. I didn't talk to Megan for days. I told her I wanted everything in writing. Full financial disclosure. I had already moved out, taken my name off the joint accounts, cancelled the credit cards, and changed every password. She kept texting, apologizing, begging. I ignored every message. I filed the lawsuit 2 weeks later, not just for divorce, but fraud. So did Olivia. The lawsuit covered emotional damages, misappropriated funds, and breach of contract. My lawyer said it was aggressive. I told him it needed to be. Megan and Matt lost their minds. I got long emails from both of them, calling me cruel, saying I was taking things too far. Saying I was ruining lives. But they ruined mine first. They took years from me. They took memories and twisted them into something ugly. They took trust and smashed it like it meant nothing. I don't know how this ends yet. The lawsuits are ongoing. My lawyer says it's going to get uglier before it gets better. But I know one thing, I'm not going to be quiet about it. I let things slide for too long. I ignored signs. I let myself believe everything was fine. Not anymore. 3 weeks after the lawsuits were filed, things took a turn I didn't see coming. It started with a knock on my brother's door, where I was still staying. I opened it, and there she was. Megan. Hair pulled back. No makeup. She looked tired. Like someone who hadn't slept in days. I need to talk, she said. Please. I didn't want to let her in. Everything in me screamed not to. But some stupid part of me wanted answers. Real ones. So I let her inside. She sat on the edge of the couch like it was covered in glass. I'm pregnant, she said. The air disappeared from the room. What? I asked deadpan. I found out 2 days ago. I don't know if it's yours or. She didn't finish the sentence. She didn't need to. I stood there, blinking, trying to figure out what part of my life was still real. You don't know who the father is? I said slowly. She nodded. Her voice was barely above a whisper. I was still sleeping with both of you around the same time. I didn't say anything. I just laughed. A hard, bitter laugh that didn't sound like me. She started crying again. Told me she didn't plan this. Said she thought about not telling me. Said she didn't know what to do. That was the last straw. I told her to leave. She begged me to. At least wait for the paternity results. Said if it was mine, she wanted to raise the baby with me. Like that would fix anything. Like that would make this mess go away. I told her if it was mine, I'd take care of the child, but never her. Not again. Not even if she was the last person on earth. She left, sobbing. I locked the door behind her. A week later, Olivia called. Did she tell you? She asked. About the pregnancy? No. About the job? My heart dropped. What job? She got Matt fired. And now she's trying to sue his company. I didn't understand. Apparently, after the lawsuits, Matt's job found out about the affair. He was in middle management at a software company in Charlotte. They had strict moral clauses because they dealt with government contracts. They fired him quietly. No public word. Just a violation of conduct on paper. And Megan took that and ran with it. She's saying they fired him as a cover for something else, Olivia said. She's trying to get him to sue them. She's twisting the story. I couldn't believe it. She was trying to flip the whole situation like they were the victims. I stayed quiet for a while, trying to make sense of it all. Then something even crazier happened. I got a letter from Megan's lawyer. Not an email. Not a text. A letter. She was suing me back. Claiming emotional distress. Said I'd publicly humiliated her. And damaged her reputation. I almost choked reading it. She wanted $50,000 in damages. Because I told the truth? Because I exposed her lies? My lawyer laughed when he saw the letter. Said it was desperation. Said it wouldn't hold up. Still, it rattled me. I never thought she'd go that far. And then came the whispers. People around town started talking. Not just our friends. People at church. Parents from our daughter's school. Yes, we have a daughter. She's 13. I didn't mention her before to protect her, but yeah, she's stuck in the middle of this nightmare. Rumors spread fast in small towns. Some folks thought I was abusive. Others thought I cheated first. Megan spun her version well. And Matt? He disappeared. Deleted all his social media. Olivia said he was staying with his brother in Tennessee. Said he might leave the country if things get worse. Good. Let him run. But the worst part? My daughter heard it from someone else. A kid at school told her. Your mom was doing nasty stuff with Uncle Matt. She came home crying. She asked me if it was true. I didn't know how to answer her. How do you tell your kid that their world isn't real? How do you explain betrayal to a 13-year-old? So I told her the simplest truth I could. Your mom made a mistake. A big one. And now we're figuring out what comes next. She hugged me so tight I couldn't breathe. That night, Megan called. Said she wanted to talk to our daughter. I told her no. Not yet. You don't get to just drop bombs and expect to be part of the cleanup, I said. Then she dropped her twist. I'm moving to Florida, she said. If I don't get joint custody, I'll take full custody from there. I already filed the papers. It felt like someone punched me in the chest. You're trying to take her from me? I asked. I'm trying to live my life, she said coldly. And you're trying to destroy it. I hung up. Now I'm in another legal battle. Fighting for custody of my daughter while trying to prove I'm not the one causing the damage. Everything is paperwork. Court dates. Depositions. Emails. Lies stacked on top of lies. I don't know how much more I can take. I've lost friends over this. People chose sides. Some believed her. Some backed away from both of us. Olivia and I talk every day now, not romantically, just survival mode. She's been my only real support through all this. Sometimes we sit in silence on the phone for 30 minutes. Just breathing. She said once. This is hell. But at least I know I'm not in it alone. 3 weeks after the custody threat, Megan went quiet. No texts. No calls. No updates to the lawyer. Nothing. Which was strange, especially since she made such a dramatic show about moving to Florida. I should have felt relieved. But instead I felt uneasy. Like the calm before a storm. Then one morning, I got a call from Olivia. You sitting down? She asked. Why? She's not in Florida. What? She's in Asheville. Still. And she's not alone. I felt my stomach drop. I asked her to explain. Turns out Olivia still had access to one of Megan's shared Google calendars from when they used to run a small event planning side gig together. Megan never disconnected her. Olivia, out of pure curiosity, or maybe suspicion, decided to check it. There were entries for meetings in Asheville that week. One was labeled Midwife Consult Confidential. I called my lawyer. He sent a PI to confirm. Next day, the photos came in, Megan, very visibly pregnant, walking into a medical office. But she wasn't alone. Matt was with her. They weren't even trying to hide it. They'd lied about the move. Lied about separating. Lied about everything. It was all a ploy, to make me look like I was the unstable one, while they played happy couple in secret. And the custody threat? A distraction? Something to keep me spinning while they laid low. But it gets worse. Later that week, I got an anonymous email. No name. No text. Just one attachment. It was an audio file. I almost didn't click it. Thought it might be spam or worse. But something made me press play. It was a recording of a phone call. A man and a woman. I recognized both voices instantly. Matt and Megan. It was a conversation from maybe a month ago, after I'd filed the lawsuits. They were laughing. Planning. Megan said. He's breaking. He thinks I'm a mess. I'll hit him with the custody bomb and disappear for a while. He'll fold. Matt replied. Good. The slower he bleeds, the less attention we get. My hands were shaking so hard I nearly dropped the phone. They were setting me up. Gaslighting me. Trying to make me collapse under pressure so I drop the lawsuits, give up custody, and leave quietly. They were playing the long game. I forwarded the recording to my lawyer immediately. He said it was gold, not just for court, but for proving malicious intent. Said it could change the entire outcome of everything. Then I remembered the email had no sender name. So I replied, "Who are you?" 10 minutes later, a new message arrived. "You don't know me. But I know them. And they're worse than you think." That's all it said. Now I don't know who's watching them, or why they decided to help me, but clearly, someone close to them isn't playing by their rules anymore. I sent it to Olivia. She said she got one too, but hers had pictures. Photos of Matt and Megan at a bar. Holding hands. Talking to a man we didn't recognize. That night, Olivia did some digging. Turns out the guy in the photos? He was Matt's old college roommate, now a low-level real estate investor with a shady rep. Olivia called in a favor from an old contact. The guy had recently bought 2 rental properties in Asheville, one of which was now being leased under Megan's name. So much for living out of suitcases, like she told the court. I couldn't believe how deep their lies went. But here's the final twist, at least for now. Yesterday, Megan showed up at my brother's again. This time, she wasn't crying. She was angry. "You violated my privacy," she hissed. I stayed calm. "You lied to the court. You lied to me. You're living with the man you cheated with, pretending you're a victim. You set me up with that recording," she snapped. "I didn't record it," I said. "Someone else did. And maybe you should start wondering how many people are sick of your games." She stood there, jaw tight. Then she said the most twisted thing yet. "I was going to let you be part of this baby's life. But not anymore." I laughed. "You think I care about your permission? You will," she said coldly. "You think this is about lies and courtrooms? You haven't even seen what I'm capable of yet." Then she walked away. Now I sleep with my phone next to me and my documents backed up in 5 places. Because whatever she meant, it wasn't just about lawsuits anymore. Something bigger is coming. And I'll be ready. It all came to a head during a school fundraiser. I didn't want to go. The whole event felt like a minefield, but my daughter had begged me to be there. She was playing violin with her class. "Please, Dad," she said. "Don't let Mom ruin this." So I went. Put on a decent shirt. Tried to wear a smile. Everything was going fine. Tables of cupcakes. Kids running around. Teachers awkwardly trying to make small talk. Olivia was there too, standing near the silent auction table. We exchanged a nod, our unspoken truce holding steady. Then I saw Megan. She walked in with Matt. Yes, she brought him to the school event. People noticed. Whispers started. Olivia's hand clenched around her plastic cup. My daughter, standing on the far side of the gym, saw them too. Her face dropped. I started walking toward her to get ahead of the situation, and that's when it happened. One of the teachers made the mistake of calling out, "Oh, is this your husband?" to Megan, trying to be polite. Megan smiled sweetly. Not yet. The room stilled. And just like that, something inside me snapped. I turned around and walked straight to them. I didn't yell. I didn't curse. I just looked her dead in the eyes and said, "You couldn't help yourself, could you?" Matt shifted uncomfortably. Megan tried to act unbothered. "This is neither the time nor the place, Eric," she said calmly. "Then maybe you should have thought about that before dragging your affair into a children's fundraiser." Her smile slipped. Matt opened his mouth to say something, but Olivia cut in from behind me. "Actually," she said loudly, "maybe this is the perfect place. Since you two have been putting on a show for years, might as well finish it with the lights on." People were watching now. Really watching. A few parents stepped away, clearly uncomfortable. But others leaned in, curious. "I'm done," I said to Megan. "Done being quiet. Done pretending like this is a mistake we just worked through." "You think dragging this out in public makes you look strong?" Megan snapped. "It makes you look pathetic. Better pathetic than a liar." Olivia shot back. "You're both obsessed." Megan hissed. "You're bitter and pathetic. You're pregnant with your best friend's husband's baby." Olivia interrupted, her voice cracking. "You want to talk about pathetic?" The gym was silent. Megan froze. Matt went pale. Someone gasped. And my daughter, she had walked up right in time to hear it. She stood there, violin case hanging loosely from her hand, staring at the woman who used to tuck her in at night. Megan finally looked like she realized the damage she'd done. She stepped toward our daughter. "Sweetheart, no," my daughter said quietly. Her voice shook. "You lied. You ruined everything." And then she ran. Out the side door. I followed her. We sat in the car for what felt like forever. She cried. I held her. And for the first time, I cried too. Back inside, Megan and Matt left. They didn't say goodbye. Olivia stayed. Handled the awkward questions. Told people the basics without giving too much. The next day, Megan's lawyer called mine and said she wanted to drop the countersuit. A week later, the custody threat disappeared too. Turns out, the school incident, and our daughter's reaction, had shaken her. Or maybe her mask finally slipped, and she realized the gig was up. Matt left town again. Supposedly Florida this time, for real. Megan stayed behind, but alone. The baby was born 3 months later. A boy. Paternity test confirmed it was Matt's. Olivia finalized her divorce that spring. I finalized mine in early summer. Neither of us threw parties. Just signed the papers and walked out with the wreckage. The emotional fallout took longer. Our daughter started therapy. She wouldn't speak to Megan for months. Eventually, she agreed to supervised visits. Now they talk not like before, but with boundaries. Olivia moved into a new place on the other side of town. We stayed friends. Support system. Sometimes we sit in silence, still just breathing together. That hasn't changed. I tried dating again. It was awkward. Slow. But I'm not rushing anything. Right now, I'm just trying to rebuild myself, my home, my trust in people. I still think about the day Matt whispered the truth, about how that single sentence collapsed everything I knew. I think about how I smiled through it. Not because I was strong, but because I didn't know what else to do. And now? Now I know better. I know people can lie with a straight face for years. I know love doesn't always mean loyalty. And I know pain has layers you don't feel until much later, like aftershocks that hit when the earthquake's over. But I also know this: I survived. And if you're reading this, going through something similar, so will you.